You're in tune to the Paperflip Real Estate Podcast.
So what's happening, good people? Shout out to my buyers and the sellers, the renters, and also investors. Lloyd for real estate. This is the Paperflip Podcast. Decided to do a live video. Haven't done one of those in a while, and thought, hey, it'd probably be a good idea to jump on the screen. I want to cover today what home buyers need most in today's market. Very timely subject, I believe. Something that I definitely believe that we should be discussing today. With everything that's going on in today's market, interest rates and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get off into it. So, you've been there, haven't you? You know what I'm talking about. You scrolling endlessly through your listings, your heart leaping with every new notification, only to have it sink a little lower with each open house that feels more like a cattle call. You've seen a dozen houses, maybe even more. You poured over your hopes into 3, 4, maybe even 5 offers, painstakingly crafting each one of them. And each time you've been outbidded, it's like soul crushing, right? That nagging voice, it starts to whisper to you that maybe this just isn't the right time, or maybe I should just give up, wait it out, or just rent forever. I mean, it's a thought. It's easy to feel that way when the market feels like it's actively working against you, but what if I told you there are 3 absolute non-negotiable things that separate the home buyers who actually get keys in the hands from the ones who, well, just kind of throw in the towel? Now, I've been in the trenches with hundreds of first-time buyers, helping them navigate this brutal market that's chewed up and spit out countless other people who's been out there looking. I've seen the frustration, the near defeats, and then the sheer joy of closing day. Now, my team and I have developed a playbook, a battle-tested strategy that works even when the odds feel stacked against you. And in the next few minutes, I'm not just going to tell you all about it, but also going to give you the exact actionable steps that we use. This isn't theoretical, it's practical. It's real world advice forged in the heart of the bidding wars and these tight inventories that we're seeing today. Now, you absolutely need to stay to the end, because this third negotiable, well, that's the one most people completely overlook, the one they skip, and the one they inevitably end up regretting. Won't you trust me on this one? We're going to get off into it. So let's deal with the reality check here. Reality check. So let's pull back the curtain a bit and get brutally honest about the current housing landscape. And because if we don't understand that battlefield, we can't possibly win that war. Let's look at the cold hard numbers, and believe me, they are sobering. Now, right now, nearly 3 out of 4 households in the U.S. simply cannot afford a medium-priced new home. Now, that's real. Now, think about that for a second. Now, 75% of people are priced out before they even start, priced out the market. And you ask, well, Lloyd, why? Mortgage rates are stubbornly hovering around 6%. And it's a far cry from the historically low rates we saw just a few years ago, like during the COVID era. This isn't just a number. It translates into hundreds, sometimes thousands of extra dollars on your monthly payment, pricing out millions more households with every slight uptick. Something we have to consider here. So then there's the inventory problem. Yep. Now, while we've seen some slight improvements the number of homes for sale still sits at a staggering 30% below the historical average. That means fewer choices for you, more competition, and less breathing room for home buyers. And to add insult to injury, well, home prices, they have risen 5 times faster than incomes over the last decade. 5 times. So your paycheck simply isn't keeping pace with the cost of a roof over your head, not to mention repairs. So what's the translation of all this grim data that we're taking in? Hope alone won't win you a house. Not just hoping. Wishing and hoping won't cut it either. Now, a positive attitude is great, but it won't magically make your offer stand out in a stack of, say, 10. You need more than just optimism. You need a plan. A strategy that's so robust, that is so well executed that even when you're up against multiple offers, let's say you into a bidding war and the market that feels designed to end up defeating you, you won't be shaken out the game. Now, the 3 non-negotiables I'm about to share with you aren't just suggestions. They are the same 3 critical boxes I check off with every single client before we even dare to set foot into a property. Now, before we even think about looking at a single kitchen or a backyard, ignoring these, and frankly, you might as well be bidding blindfolded, throwing darts in the dark and hoping for a miracle. Now, in this market, miracles are in short supply, and just to be honest with you, in short supply. So, non-negotiable number one. Non-negotiable number one is a bulletproof pre-approval. Bulletproof pre-approval. When we first start talking, the first thing most buyers confidently like to say is, well, I already got a pre-qualified letter online last week. I'm pre-qualified. I'm in the game, baby. I'm pre-qualified. Bless their little old hearts. They think they're ahead of the game. Nothing wrong with that. You making a step in the right direction. Nothing wrong with that. But let me tell you, with all the kindness, generosity in my heart, and it's like saying you train for a marathon, but walking around the block. Train for a marathon, but you're walking around the block. It's absolutely not the same thing as being truly pre-approved. And in today's market, a mere pre-qualification simply isn't going to cut it. It's a piece of paper that essentially says maybe this person can buy a house. You need a document that screams, this person will buy your house, Mr. Seller. A real bulletproof pre-approval means a local, reputable lender has gone deep. They audited your income, your debt, and your assets with a fine-tooth comb. Now, they looked at your paycheck stubs, your bank statements, your credit history, the whole 9 yards. Crucially, they gotten a full underwriter stamp of approval. Now, this isn't some automated logarithm spitting out a number. Just an actual human being, a decision maker saying, yes, we are ready to lend this person money for a home. In a market where we're seeing upwards of 30% of offers being all cash. Today, 30% offers today are all cash. And think about that. Cash offers. Your financing has to look as clean, as solid, and as utterly trustworthy as a stack of $100 bills because of these cash offers. A lot of them, 30% of offers are all cash. Anything less in your offer immediately gets relegated to the bottom of the pile, no matter how good your price is. So how do we make that happen and fast? It's a 3-pronged approach. One, you need to pick a lender who is not only good at their job, but is also incredibly responsive, and accessible. This isn't a 9 to 5 transaction. I mean, you basically need a lender who answers their phone at 4 p.m. on a Friday, who can call a listing agent Johnny on the spot to vouch for your financial strength when an offer is being considered. Now, this personal touch, this immediate validation, can be the difference between your offer being taken seriously or being dismissed. And two, when they ask for documents, and they will ask for a lot of them, you need to send in every single one of them. Every single one that they request, you need to send them in within 24 hours. Get it into your lender immediately. And don't procrastinate on this one. Don't make them end up chasing you. Get them documents in. Show them that you are serious, you are organized, and you're ready to move forward. Now, this level of efficiency reflects positively on you and tells the lender that you are a low-risk client. And then three, and this is the game changer, ask for a TBD approval or to be determined approval letter. This means your loan is approved even before a specific address is even chosen. The only thing left for you to do is to appraise the house that you end up picking. And when the seller sees that level of certainty that your financing is essentially locked and loaded, they don't just put your offer at the top of the pile. They often give it preferential treatment. Now, it mitigates their risk and makes the process smoother for them. Skip this crucial step, and you keep paying for inspections, appraisals, and countless hours of emotional investment on properties you never truly had a real chance to buy. You'll be the buyer who keeps getting heartbroken because your financing wasn't as strong as the next person's. So something you want to keep in mind. So here's the next non-negotiable. This is number 2. It's number 2. You want to have a hyper-local, micro-targeted neighborhood. So, all right, let's talk about how you actually are looking for a home today. House hunting is like a tourist casting a wide net across the entire metropolitan area. Simply doesn't work in this market. Now, we're not tourists. We're not doing that when we're a home buyer. You know, it's a recipe for burnout, frustration, ultimately failure. Once I had a buyer tell me they were looking anywhere within 45 minutes of the city. Imagine that, 45 minutes. Now, that's a huge radius encompassing dozens of district neighborhoods, each with its own unique market dynamics, price points, and its own quirks. It's like trying to hit a bullseye with a shotgun from a mile away. You just spraying and praying and hoping again, right? Instead, we narrow it down. We get surgical with it. And we focus on a hyper-local micro-target. For that same buyer, we eventually narrowed it to 3 specific neighborhoods, now each with very precise criteria. A pocket park nearby, grocery store within a mile, and as a fun little identifier, a higher than average number of buyers, let's just say Jennifer, competing for fewer houses that are available. Now, why does this level of granular detail matter? Because knowing how many days a house typically sits on the market in Lansing versus Country Club Hills gives you immense leverage. And it informs your offer strategy, your negotiation tactics, and your overall sense of urgency. If a house in Lansing sits for more than a week, you know something is off. If it's gone in 24 hours, you know you have to move like lightning. It's just an example. And I'm not saying that's what's going on today in Lansing. Just an example. And if it goes just days on the market, knowing local quirks, keeping this stuff in mind, like whether houses on certain streets tends to have a higher insurance cost due to proximity to a fire station or a floodplain, or if one side of the neighborhood has better school zoning. This puts you miles ahead of the out-of-town buyers or even the in-town buyers who haven't done their homework. Now, this isn't just about finding a house. It's about making a smart investment, and having local knowledge is your secret weapon. So here's an actionable task. Build a one-page data sheet for your microzone. You know, this isn't optional. You want a one-page data sheet for your microzone. It's essential. And on this sheet, you track recent sales within a half a mile radius. Not just the listing price, but also the sold price. You want to calculate the average list to sale ratio for that specific area. Are homes going for asking above or below? And what are the average closing concessions? Are sellers typically paying for repairs, or are buyers taking properties as is? This is important. You also want to note things like property tax rates, specific school ratings, if that's important to you, and any upcoming development plans. Print it out, study it, memorize it. Become the local expert for your chosen micro target. And when a house pops up for sale, you won't be guessing. You won't be hoping. You will know within 60 seconds whether it's priced right, whether it's a good fit, and whether you need to go full speed ahead with an aggressive offer or calmly keep walking on by. Now, this level of preparation eliminates emotional decisions and empowers you to act with confidence and precision. So let's talk about a story-driven offer. Story-driven offer. All right. Okay, so here it is. This is one that separates the contenders from the champions. It's the non-negotiable most people completely ignore. And it's that one I was telling you about earlier. Thinking it's fluffy or unnecessary. Price matters. I think you already knew that. Price matters, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, absolutely. Price matters. You can't ignore the numbers. But in a competitive market, the story of your offer often matters more than just the dollar amount. The story. This is where you tap into the human element. Believe me, sellers are very, very human. They're real people just like us. Your sellers, they're real people, actually. Probably didn't think of that. But on the other side of the transaction, you're dealing with a real human being. And so think about it. Selling a home isn't just a financial transaction for most people. It's often deeply personal to them. It's where they raise their kids, celebrated the holidays, made some memories up in there. They want certainty, a whole lot of certainty, of course. But they also want to feel good about the people who will be eating breakfast in their kitchen, planting flowers in their garden, and building new memories within their walls. They're just them picturing how they lived in the home. That's all this is. They want to envision a happy future for their beloved home, the home they're getting ready to sell, that they made all these memories in. This isn't just about cold hard cash. It's about making that connection. So how do we craft a story-driven offer that tugs at heartstrings while still being financially sound? We start with the practicalities. Of course, we're going to do that. Now, escalation clause is often a smart move, allowing you to automatically increase your offer up to a predetermined maximum that you are comfortable with, signaling that you are serious without overpaying from the start. This is what you're saying. We had a significant non-refundable deposit, let's say 5% of the purchase price. Within 3 days of acceptance, after we do this shows the seller you are committed, you in the game, that you have skin in the game, and that you're not going to walk away lightly. Putting 5% down, that's serious business. This financial commitment builds the trust and reduces their risk. But then we go a little bit beyond the numbers here. We write a heartfelt one-page letter about our buyers. That's what we sometimes as agents do. Now, this is some kind of form letter. It's tailored specifically to the house and to that seller. And we can glean any details about them. Who are you? What do you love about their home? And maybe you mention how your dog, Buster, will absolutely adore the spacious fenced backyard. And yes, you include a photo of Buster looking, adorable. Perhaps you talk about your passion for gardening and how you can't wait to plant roses and flower beds that they so clearly nurtured. You might share a small, relatable anecdote about your family and how this house is the perfect place for your next chapter. Now, the goal is to make the sellers see you're not as some anonymous bidder, but as a real family with real dreams who will cherish their home as much as they have. So I know what you're thinking. Lloyd, that sounds corny, dude. Sounds corny. Does that really work? And my answer to you is yeah, it works. Now, in the last 18 months, my buyers have won 13 out of 14 bidding wars using this exact strategy and tactic. Now, think about the success rate. Often, they've beaten out offers with higher numbers because the seller, faced with two similar financial offers, chose the one that resonated emotionally. Think about that connection. You got this form letter and this potential buyer's telling you how they see themselves living in this property. So the seller chooses to offer from the people that they have trusted, the people whose story they have connected with. Now, your offer isn't just a financial document. It's a resume plus a thank you letter rolled all into one. And it's your chance to make a personal connection, to stand out in the sea of identical bids. If your offer doesn't pull some heartstrings, if it ain't touching the heart, if it doesn't create an emotional bond, then it's not quite finished. And go back to the drawing board and make sure it tells your story. And it's something you can do with your agent. The agent can submit a letter if they choose to do so, and you guys agree upon that. Can submit a letter along with your offer. It's something that can happen, so keep that in mind. So here's the quick fix about what to do today, right now. What to do today. So you got no more excuses, no more waiting around. You got the playbook. Just handed it down. You got the playbook. Now it's time to start execute. Take this quick checklist, print it out, and literally paste it on your fridge if you need to. Make it visible. Make it a constant reminder. And here's the kicker. Need to do a line through for each item. Line through each item before you even book another showing. Go through each one of these items. These aren't things to do after you find a house. These are foundational steps that prepare you to win. One, and this is immediate. Now upload the last 2 years of your tax returns and your most recent month of pay stubs to your lender today. Not tomorrow, not next week. And do that right now. That's the first step towards that bulletproof pre-approval. Now get the ball rolling now so that your lender has all the necessary documentation to start that deep dive. Now every hour you delay is an hour your competition might be getting ahead of you. This isn't just about getting approved. It's about signaling to your lender that you are serious and you are efficient, which will make them more likely to go that extra mile for you when that time comes. Now, 2, pick one neighborhood, just one to start with, and drive through it after dinner this week. Now, don't just drive through it during the day. Go when people are at home, when the neighborhood is alive, people out there kicking it, doing their thing. You want to see what's going on in the neighborhood. See what it feels like. Are the street lights working? Do you feel safe? Can you imagine yourself living there? What's the vibe like? And here's the fun. Here's a practical test. See if the pizza delivery guy can find it easily. Pizza delivery guy can find that house with ease. There you go. Seriously. If it's confusing or isolated, that might be a red flag for future convenience or even a resale value. This isn't just research, it's an emotional test drive for your micro target. Helps you confirm your choice and solidify your hyper-local focus. You want to get hyper-local focus, micro-targeted. 3, draft your story letter. That form letter I was talking about. Don't wait until you found that one. Get a template started. Write down your general sentiments, who you are, what home ownership means to you. Keep it saved in Google Docs or a similar cloud service so you can easily tailor it in 5 minutes flat after viewing the house you absolutely love. You won't have time to craft a masterpiece from scratch when the offer needs to go in that night, that very day. Having a strong foundation allows you to quickly personalize it with details specific to that house you just saw. Perfect porch swing, charming buildings, mature oak tree in the front yard. These are the little, seemingly insignificant steps that accumulate into massive advantages. These are the actions that turn casual scrollers into successful closers. So here's the non-negotiables recap. Let's go over this stuff. And I gave you a little something. We're going to go over this again so you can have it. Now, look, you got a choice in this market. You do. You can either complain about how tough things are, lament the high prices and fierce competition, and eventually just give up. Or you can choose to conquer it. You choose to conquer it. You can choose to be the one of those winners, and the winners, the ones who actually get to unpack the boxes in their new home. They all share these 3 non-negotiable traits. In one, they have a pre-approval so solid, so comprehensive that it feels like cash in the seller's eyes. It's not just a piece of paper, it's a commitment backed by a diligent lender who is ready to go to bat for them. And that removes all the doubt about their financial capability. You want to get rid of that in the seller's mind. Hey, we're good to go. We can close on this bad boy. Let's get this done. Let's close. Let's get there. And 2, they focus so locally, so intentionally on a chosen micro target that they know when a house is overpriced, underpriced, or perfectly positioned. Sometimes even before Zillow's algorithm catches on. They are the local experts armed with data and intuition, ready to act decisively. And 3, they make an offer that doesn't just hit the right price point, but also wins hearts and wallets simultaneously. Now, they understand that real estate is a human business, and a compelling story can be just as powerful as an extra $1,000. And they connect with the seller, making the offer memorable and desirable. If even one of these 3 non-negotiables is missing, I promise you the wheels will fall off your home buying journey. You'll find yourself back at square one, disheartened and frustrated. So I challenge you, pick your weakest link, identify which of these 3 areas you need to shore up, and then fix it this week, and don't delay on that. You want to get on top of that. Don't put it off. So I want to take the time to say thank you. And I want you to then go out and tell me all about it. And drop your biggest challenge, your toughest question, or your aha moment in the comments below. I'll read every single one, and I will reply with a specific resource or personal tip or strategy to keep you moving forward. Because my goal isn't just to inform you, it's to empower you to win. Get out here and make some offers. So like the video, subscribe to this channel for more insider tips, and please share this with your best friend who is about to give up on their home ownership dream. Don't let them do that. Share it with them. The information is powerful, because you just learned the three absolutely essential things home buyers need most in today's challenging yet conquerable market. Let's go out and get that house. This has been Lloyd for Real Estate.